After the drama of the genocide in 1994, Rwanda has been an important part of reconciliation. In our Ubuntu Summit, we are now joined Fidèle Ndayisaba, Executive Secretary of Rwanda National Commission for Unity and Reconciliation. Welcome, Mr. Fidèle. It's a great honor to have your presence with us.
Thank you, Rui Marquez. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and a great pleasure to be with you speaking at the occasion of the celebration of the International Day of Living Together in Peace. I'm pleased to respond to the invitation of Ubuntu Leaders Academy. Allow me to share the experience of Rwanda, a nation that faced the worst violence of the century, a tragedy of the genocide against the Tutsi, which took 1 million of lives of people within 100 days from April to July 1994. A country now embarked in building its reconciliation. The divisive history of Rwanda, especially the 1994 genocide against Tutsi, has resulted in widespread physical, psychological, interpersonal, and spiritual wounds. Beyond the individual suffering, the genocide devastated the Rwandan community fabric, upset reference systems, compromised familial and community organizations, and impaired individual psyches. The government of Rwanda, through the partnership with different actors, Friends of Rwanda, including countries' international organizations, faith-based organizations, local non-governmental organizations, and community initiatives, have promoted healing initiatives from individual, community to national level. The particularity of the society victim of extreme massive violence or post-genocide societies is always the intentionality of atrocities. The rules guide of the humanity are discredited and are ridiculed by the community itself. The death, the injuries, the wounds, the suffering, and the destructions are provoked, kept, and exacerbated deliberately by the malevolent people. Among many competing priorities, the post-genocide government of Rwanda directed a lot of efforts and resources towards restoring the security, the rule of law, and the dignity of the society, which were significantly affected by the genocide and long periods of bad governance characterized by discrimination and divisive ideologies. The reconstruction steps involved an integrated approach, including reparation of material damages, healing of broken emotional and psychological dimensions of individuals as well as the social fabric. Restorative justice mechanism through the Charter Courts, a traditional Rwandan system of justice in which local community members are allowed to testify freely without the participation of lawyers, and the cases are decided by a panel of judges chosen from the community as persons of integrity, have proven to be most effective responses to genocide crimes by holding genocide perpetrators accountable for their deeds, avoiding revenging behavior by the survived victims, thus reconstructing Rwandan society towards harmonious and peaceful community as to pave the way to economic recovery and progress. This has been possible, on one hand, due to the political will of the Rwandan leadership, and on the other hand, by the people of Rwanda who made serious sacrifice to get back together as people and a country. This is the resilience. The Rwandan reconciliation process uses a multi-approach founded mainly on two pillars that are the legal and institutional reform framework and homegrown approaches. Within 27 years in the reconciliation process, we learned lessons about how to stay reconciled. Reconciliation is a long-term relational process and has structural, contextual, and cultural dimensions. It implies change in individuals, shifts in relationship between communities, and the restructuring of socio-economic institutions. It is a complex process that takes considerable time, over several generations. Resilience is at the same time a foundation and an outcome of a reconciliation process. Reconciliation is a process that requires the connecting of the torn fabric, social fabric, healing wounds, rebuilding a sense of togetherness, and creation of institutions that promote national unity and accountability. Remorsefulness, confession, seeking forgiveness are the clear manifestation of the never again rhetoric as stated by the international community. Trust building and trauma healing are critical to reconciliation. Trauma healing through repairing and rebuilding communities and the social context that recreate hope and people's sense of being and belonging. Homegrown approaches are empowering, less costly, effective, and sustainable. Forgiveness has been a cornerstone of social healing. Forgiveness and repentance have closed the window to vengeance and opened the door to sustainable peace in Rwanda. Dialogue allowed Rwandans to discuss about the past of Rwanda while envisioning the bright future of Rwanda, and has strongly promoted a sense of shared Rwandan identity. The recent Rwanda Reconciliation Barometer of 2020, an assessment of citizens' views of unity and reconciliation, indicates that 94.7% of Rwandans feel reconciled and committed to the existential choice of staying together. If you want peace and prosperity, invest in staying together. I thank you for your kind attention.